And there I was the girl from Suits.
This one's wife. Clear off, Harry. I'm with the kids. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. This one's wife is in Colombia. She's attended a school, and she's been pictured with some of the pupils, with the school children, with the youngsters. She's down with the kids. This naturally raises an eyebrow with regard to the fact, why is it she likes to spend so much time with children when she never bothers spending much time with her own? Why is it that we repeatedly see pictures of this one's wife when she's surrounded by children and young people? When she goes to visit a particular organisation, she's often pictured with young children. One Young World is directed at teenagers and those entering majority. She gave a speech, of course, which sent most people to sleep. When she was in Nigeria, she attended on a school, was pictured with the various school children there. In Colombia, she's again pictured, as you can see floating across your screen, a number of pictures taken with her and the children. So why is it that a woman who is never seen with her, or rather hardly ever seen with her own children, likes to be seen repeatedly with children and young people? Well, first of all, let's address the fact that where on earth has Harry got to in all of these photographs? Has she issued a diktat that he's to clear off so that she can hog the limelight? Probably the case. Sometimes Harry is allowed in on the picture. Don't lose sight of the fact that this is always at the permission of this one's wife, for she is his handler, and thus she determines whether he is to be involved in the photograph or not. We've seen in the past where she won't let him in properly, so that he has to stand awkwardly, because it's her appearance that matters above everything else. Here it would appear that either Harry'd popped off to use the toilet, or he wasn't to be included in this particular set of photographs because Madam wanted to be the one at the heart of the action. Thus, Harry is absent. But this then leads us to the question, why is it that this one's wife likes to be pictured so often being seen with children and young people? Well, there are two reasons for this, which are, as you'd expect, explained by her narcissism. The first relates to the issue of control and fuel. Children are, in general terms, easy to control. They will not necessarily have formed their own opinions. They're reliant upon others in many ways. So, for example, a parental narcissist that has a child in minority often finds it easy to control that child because the child is reliant upon that adult for somewhere to live, for food to be provided, for entertainment, for warmth, for soothing, and so on and so forth. So there are lots of different ways that parental narcissist can thus assert control over the child. Even where this one's wife is not a parental narcissist to the children, the very fact that they are children makes them easier to control by virtue of their youth. That they don't know as much about the world, that they have not yet perhaps formed firm opinions about certain things, that they may well be excited and in awe of meeting somebody who is famous or infamous. And therefore, being around children means that it's far easier for her to assert control over them. This also then segues into that other important aspect of the prime aims, which is the provision of fuel. The excitement that children will exhibit as a consequence of an absence of a natural cynicism which adults may have, or essentially not being bothered as to who is this person, means that they're more likely to react to her presence and thus furnish her with fuel. The children will be tertiary sources, therefore their fuel is not particularly potent. Nevertheless, if there's enough of them, and of course they're physically proximate, that means you'll be receiving large amounts of fuel in a sustained fashion from lots of people, and whilst it's not particularly potent, the amount and frequency of it will be significant for her. You may recall in Parts Passim a video where I analysed her turning up at a school where the pupils were queued up either side as she walked down the middle of them like some all-conquering empress. This one's wife loves to be amongst children because her narcissism dictates that they are easy to control, and also because then she can draw plenty of fuel from them. Adults are harder to control. Adults are less impressed. Indeed, adults may have a greater awareness of what this one's wife is about, and therefore be less inclined to want to have to interact with her. But children are far more malleable, and therefore her narcissism will regularly direct her to have an involvement with children, just not her own. Thus, the first reason equates to the pursuit of the prime aims, control and fuel. The second aspect, which unsurprisingly is also of the prime aims, relates to character trait acquisition. This one's wife is a woman in her 40s. She likes to hang around children and young people because her narcissism tells her that she's actually far younger in spirit and outlook, that they are like her. This isn't as a consequence of thinking that she's immature in any way, far from it. What she is doing is acquiring the character traits of youthfulness, of spirit, of enthusiasm, of being on the cusp of life and believing that she's just like them. Rather than being an alleged former yacht girl who has sucked enough spunk out of a number of individuals to leave them with walnut-shriveled balls, an individual that has been ridden hard and left hanging up wet, it isn't the case that this one's wife wants to accord with being a husk of a human being from which there is no soul, no joy, and no life. Instead, like some form of vampire, she draws on the youthfulness of children and young people in an effort to present in a similar way. In the way that she believes that she belongs to the A-list, in the way that she believes that she belongs to the successful businesswoman in the Hamptons, in the way that she believes that she's genuine royalty, in the way that she believes that she is someone that is of the political firmament. This one's wife similarly believes that she belongs with children and young people because she's vivacious and energetic just like them. And what she's seeking to do, subconsciously, is acquire their character traits to make her seem younger, to make her seem like she is like them, in order then to provoke a response. She doesn't want to be seen in that moment as being old and crusty or foisty. No, she wants to be viewed as someone that is energetic, vibrant, and magnetic. And thus her narcissism directs her, as part of the ease of control and drawing fuel, to also spend time with children and young people in order to gain the character trait of their youthfulness. Thus, as you can see from the pictures, Harry is sent away so she can be sent to stage as she seeks to suck the life force out of the children around her. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.